Top 10 ways coronavirus will change your life forever. Right now, COVID-19 is moving through the world and the worldwide economy seems, by all accounts, to be crumbling. This, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is one of those seasons of distress, a period when our lives are overturned and loaded up with vulnerability. However, as an ever-increasing number of individuals change in accordance with life in isolate, we are beginning what's turning into a worldwide social investigation. Thoughts that we just discussed in the prior years are being placed without hesitation on an enormous scale. This will be a troublesome time, but at the same time it's setting off to the flash of some fantastic changes. A new political uprising. COVID-19 is hitting our well-being hard, yet it's hitting our economy significantly harder. As indicated by experts at J.P. Morgan Chase, there is no longer uncertainty. We presently imagine that the COVID-19 stun will create a worldwide downturn. The poor will be hit hardest of all. While office laborers will be ready to work remotely from home, it will for the most part be servers and stockroom laborers that endure this pandemic. Automation. Companies that use more automation are already doing better than those that rely on cramming human workers into a tightly packed factory, and companies are starting to notice. Fire Robotics, for example, has said that they've seen a 25% increase in inquiries in the past 30 days alone. We can expect a lot of manufacturing companies to turn to automation to survive, and a lot of other companies, too. Free and universal healthcare. After the Spanish flu of 1918, nations around the globe, creator Laura Spinney says, grasped the idea of associated medicine. It was one of the enduring effects of the last extraordinary worldwide pandemic. Individuals began to understand that the strength of the poor influenced everybody, and the main conversations that would prompt general social insurance began. There are just a bunch of nations that don't have all-inclusive medicinal services today, and one created country. However, this could be the minute that drives the remainder of the world into free human services. Online learning. Schools are closing down in almost every nation that has seen a flare-up of COVID-19, and that is driving guardians and educators into an entirely different period of education. For the following hardly any months, internet learning will be the standard. Regardless of how well informed your educator is, they will need to figure out how to make instruction digital. Based on early responses, it's far-fetched that we'll see far-reaching selection of online training when this is finished. Criticism from instructors, up until this point, has been all around negative. Working from home. Before COVID-19, just 7% of American laborers had the alternative to work from home. That doesn't imply that 7% were telecommuting, it just implies that 93% of Americans were informed that it could never be an option. Today, telecommuting is a need. There are no hard measurements on what number of individuals are working remotely around the globe, yet the organization Cisco has said that in China their video conferencing programming has been considering 22 to be as a lot of traffic as it did before the outbreak. The world is occupied with a worldwide work-from-home trial, and we are going to see direct exactly how economical it is. The death of small businesses. A lot of organizations are being hit hard at this moment, yet no one as hard as bars and restaurants. France, Spain, Italy, Germany and the United Kingdom are only a couple of nations that have closed down all bars and restaurants, and in nations that haven't commanded it, not many individuals are deciding to go out for drinks. For the following barely any months, these organizations and their representatives will be deprived of any income stream that doesn't originate from the legislature. A ton of them won't be ready to endure it. The end of reliance on China. COVID-19 couldn't come at a more terrible energy for China. They were in a ruthless exchange war, and COVID-19 has exacerbated things a great deal. In any case, as China has gone under isolate and has battled to keep up its pace, it's become progressively clear exactly that it is so hazardous to depend on a solitary area to supply the world. The rise of big government. Whether that's a good thing or not is up to debate, but good or bad, there is a lot of reason to believe that it is true. Around the world, people have been embracing big government ever since COVID-19 began to spread. Socialist policies are being implemented all around the world, even in countries led by conservative and libertarian leaders. The US government is planning on spending $1 trillion fighting COVID-19, while the United Kingdom's Boris Johnson has said that there is no ceiling to how much they'll spend. Universal basic income. Finland tried universal basic income in 2017 and 2018 and concluded that it left people happy but jobless, which might be what we find in the rest of the world as well. But one way or another, these debates are going to be a lot less theoretical when the pandemic is over. Voting by mail. On April 15, with a pandemic desolating their nation, the individuals of South Korea will need to arrange outside of stalls and cast their votes in the 2020 election. It will be a tremendous issue, and the nation hasn't generally had the opportunity to respond. Up until now, their answer is horrendous. They will expect voters to wear veils and dispensable gloves, and they're going to check everybody's temperatures previously permitting them to enter. It will be a catastrophe. We can rely on the voter turnout being wretched, and it will be a reminder for the remainder of the world.